Hi guys, this is my first video of actually doing makeup. I am not at all a makeup artist or anything like that. I just really like to do my makeup and I get compliments on it, and so I figured why not do a little makeup video for you guys. I don't know. It is different and I do sound kind of like I'm getting sick. It's really just allergies and my nose is running all throughout the video, so sorry about that. I did take some allergy pills. They didn't really seem to help. So you're just gonna hear me sniffing throughout the video and there's gonna be some awkward silences. It's a learning process, just bear with me. But if you want to see how I got this makeup look, just keep watching. Thanks guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with the eyes. But first, I'm going to pin up my hair because I personally just cannot do my makeup with the hair in my face. So it's gonna look a little wonky, but that's okay. And once that's out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes. You can use Too Faced Shadow Insurance, or I like to use the Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day eyeshadow primer. It does, honestly, I feel like it does a little bit better job, and it's like $3. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes. And I'm just using my ring finger and tapping it on there. I don't want to rub, but I just want to tap it on there. Make sure to cover the whole lid. And once that's done, I have 2 pieces of tape on my hand, and what I'm going to do, I have it on my hand because I don't want it to be so sticky to where you rip it off. I'm just going to take it, line up the lower lash line, and angle it towards the tail of my brow. And what this is going to do is just create a really nice edge to your eyeshadow, and also, since we're working with dark colors, it's not going to have so much fallout over here to where you have this really rounded smoky eye. You can do that if you want, but this just makes it a lot easier. And if you really don't want to put tape on your eye, anything with a flat edge, you can even use the edge of your primer. You can just hold it up there, and that would work as well. Tape just makes it to where you don't have to hold anything up on your face. I know, it looks a little weird right now, but just go with me. So, first I'm going to be using from the Urban Decay Electric palette, no, Shadow Box palette, sorry. I'm going to be using the shade Flash, and it's just light, really kind of electric purple. It doesn't go on that electric, but we're going to use that as my, I don't know, I just lost my word. Oh well, you'll just find out. I'm just taking it all the way from the outer corner to the inner corner, buffing it in there with a nice big fluffy brush. This one's from Bobbi Brown, and it's just the eye blender brush. So I'm going to take that inner corner to outer corner, just keep buffing it through there. Transition shadow, just now thought of the word. And this is just going to help make sure you don't have any harsh lines, because when you're doing a smoky eye, you do not want harsh lines. In general, you don't want harsh lines. But next, I'm going to be taking, I really don't know what palette this is. I got it a long time ago, and I honestly probably need a new one. But I'm going to be switching between these two. This one is Grape, and this one is Plum, and ignore my missing fingernail. It's on both middle finger. I don't know why. And then I'm going to be taking this Essential Crease brush from Real Techniques. I really like their brushes, and they're pretty inexpensive for the quality. So I'm mixing Grape and Plum, I think it was the other color. And I'm just going to focus that on the outer corner of the eye. And see, I can get as messy as I want over here on this corner because that tape is stopping it from getting all over the place. I wish I knew how to do voiceovers. I could speed this process up, but I don't know how to do voiceovers, so sorry. Bear with me. And if you're wondering, I am filming this on the floor of my bedroom. Like, here's my bed. I have people over and I don't want to socialize. And also, my window is just the perfect lighting right now. So I just keep going back in with those two, blending it, really focusing on the outer portion of my eye, and kind of going up. Now I'm going to be taking more of this darker shade right here, which is Glory. And I'm going to be taking this all the way to the inner corner, just back and forth. Keep blending. The key to any smoky eye or layering eyeshadows is really to blend. You can make it as dark as you want or as light as you want. I really like dark smoky eyes. I don't wear them that often just because I feel like you have to have somewhere to go, but you really don't. I'm like, all I'm doing after this is walking around my house, so. Then I'm going to be taking this Real Techniques brush, the base shadow brush, and I'm going to go in with this Tornado color from the Shadow Box palette. But first, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of eye drops on the brush. And you could use MAC Fix Plus, but I'm not going to go spend $20 for something that eye drops could do the same job for. It wets the brush, so when you pick up the pigment, it just really helps the color. And if it's a shimmery shadow like this is, it really picks that up. Rather than if I went in with a dry brush. And I'm really just going to be layering this on because I want a lot of that shimmer to show up in this. I'm going back in, where's my brush? Oh, here we go. With that crease brush from Real Techniques, I'm just going to be taking the shadow color of Blackout from the Shadow Box. Just get a little bit of it and really want to focus this on the outer corner of the eye. And I really like this color of black eyeshadow because it's matte and you know, Blackout really fits it. It is pure black. And you really want to keep this lower on your lid because once we blend it will get higher and you don't want to have, you know, black up to your eyebrow. So I'm just going back in with Blackout, making it as dark as I want it, and do the same to the other eye. You don't have to use the same blending brush that I did, but I mean, it gets the job done. You could use a smaller, more precise brush if you wanted, but the tape really helps it. You can get as messy as you want. Then taking the Bobbi Brown blending brush, and I'm just going back in with that flash color that I used in the very beginning. I'm just going to blend this all together because we don't want any harsh lines. And going back in with my wet eyeshadow base brush and the color Tornado, I'm just going to touch this up because I really want this color to show through. You're probably like, what color? It's all purple. Really start to see that sheen. I really love purple smoky eyes, so I'm going to do a smoky eye. I want it to be purple. I don't wear a lot of purple, but then going back in with that crease brush, I'm just going to define. I don't have any other thing on it, it's just how it was. But I'm just going to go back over my crease. And put a little more black right here. The outer corners. And now I'm just going to gently peel this tape off. It really doesn't hurt. It might look like it does, but it doesn't. And you can really see that really precise line. It's nice and clean, like, looks so good. I can try to get this piece off. And they're pretty even for the most part. If they weren't, you could just go back in with a flat definer brush and some more of that blackout and make it even on the edges, but I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. And now we're moving on to the face. First, I'm going to be using this Maybelline Master Prime primer in Blur and Illuminate. This is one that I just really like. You can use whatever primer you want to, but a primer really just acts as a base and as a barrier between your foundation, and it can help prevent breakouts. Not all the time, obviously, you know, I've got a few little breakouts going on, but... And with this specific primer, it's really just gonna illuminate your face and reflect the light off of it. So it'd be really great for if you have dry skin. I have oily skin, but that doesn't mean I don't like a little shine. And I just applied that with my fingers. You don't really need a brush or anything, but I kind of rub it in first, and then I'll pat it all into the skin. And if I'm sniffing a lot, like my nose is running. I've taken allergy pills and it just does nothing. So after my primer, I'm going to be using this green concealer color corrector, also from Maybelline. And what a green concealer really does, you can apply it to anywhere you have redness or breakouts, and it'll really just help mask the redness because red and green cancel each other out. So I'll just go over any areas that I feel like I really need to conceal and kind of pat this in there. Oh, and something I forgot to do in the very beginning, sadly, was put on a lip mask. I have really dry, chapped lips, like, all the time, and I've really been liking this Neosporin Overnight Renewal Therapy lip mask. It says overnight, but I use it during the day, too. And it's just a white petroleum jelly, almost, and you put it on, and it looks a little freaky because it makes your lips look white, but it absorbed really nicely into the skin, or into your lips. So I'm going to put that on, so by the time we do our lips, they're nice and smooth. So then, I'm actually going to be mixing my, I'm using a lot of Maybelline products today, that was unintentional. My Maybelline Dream Pure BB cream. I'm not sure what color this is in. Oh, light medium. And then my Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse, because it matches my body at the moment, because I have a little bit of a tan, but I don't really like to tan my face because it's bad for your skin. And this is lighter than my skin tone, this is darker, so if by mixing the two, it gets my perfect shade. So I just apply the BB cream with my fingers, just squeeze it out into my hands, and rub it on my fingers. And pat it on my face first, and then I just go in and rub it all in. I really like BB creams during the summer because they give you just enough coverage but not too much to where you're cakey and sweating it all off, but just enough. Okay, it stopped recording on me, because that's always nice. But what I was saying was, working on my concealer, which I used the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, which I'm using a lot of Maybelline products, don't know why. And I use this for my under eyes, and then I use the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer to highlight on my forehead, my nose, my cupid's bow, and my chin. And so I'm just going to tap that out a little bit to make sure I get all the creasing out, because I have really creasy under eyes. I'm going to take my Real Techniques setting brush, which it has the E.L.F high definition powder on it, and I'm just going to take this and tap it underneath my eyes just to set my concealer, because if I don't set, I will crease like within seconds actually. And so I'll just set everywhere I highlighted, and then I actually like to set my foundation as well, so I'll just take a big fluffy, this is a multitask brush, I just would call it a powder brush, it's from Real Techniques as well, and I'll just take just the little bit that's left in there and just kind of run it all over my face and down my neck just to set everything. And now that I've done foundation and concealer, I'm going to do my brows. Now, I don't have, you know, sparse brows or anything. Sparse? One of those. But I do like to do my eyebrows. I feel like it gives a completed look. So what I'm using is this NYX Micro brow pencil, and I'm just using the spoolie end, and I'm just going to brush my brows up, and then I actually use an eyeshadow because I dyed my hair red, and if I use the dark NYX brow pencil, it's a little too dark, so I go in with this Maybelline The Nudes eyeshadow palette, and I just go in with this color right here. And I just take it on this Real Techniques brow brush, and I line the bottom of my brow first with the powder, and then I just flick upwards in the front because you want to create hair-like, you just want to look like you're creating hair there. But then I'll just go in and fill in my brows with the powder, just really filling them in, not using any really type of technique. And I'll do the same thing to the other brow. And when I'm like pretty happy with them, I'll go back in with that NYX spoolie and just brush them up again, because you just kind of want to, you're buffing out that color so it's not as harsh, and it lightens it up a little bit. And I have crazy eyebrow hair, so I'll go in with the NYX Control Freak, and it's just a clear brow gel, and I'll brush upwards first on both brows, because my brows like to like droop down, and I'm like, no. And then I will tame the top of them and get them into the shape, their natural shape. And if you have like even crazier brows, or when my brows are doing weird things, I will first use an eyebrow wax pencil and go over that, but for the most part they're pretty good, so I'll just do that and let them dry. And now we're gonna go in with the lower lash line. So I am going to go back in with using the crease brush, and I'm gonna pick up the color we first used, which was Flash from the Urban Decay palette. I'm having trouble speaking, so don't mind me. Take a little bit of that and run it over my lower lash line. And you don't have to put anything on your lower lash line, or you can go, you know, heavy with your lower lash line. I like to go all out. You can just do whatever you want to do. But I will go all the way to the inner corner with that color. And I really like to smoke out the lower lash line. I know sometimes people are really afraid of that because they don't want to look like their makeup's running down their face or like a raccoon. But if you do it right and you just blend it all together, like it really looks good. And it looks like a smoky eye. So then I will go in with my flat definer brush, if I can find it. This one's just from E.L.F. It was like $1. It says it's an eyeliner brush, but and then I will go in with that color we used, Glory, right here. I'll get a little bit of that and run it along my lower lash line. You're going to use basically the same colors we used on the top of our lid. Gonna use those for the bottom. I'm like paranoid my camera's gonna shut off again. Okay, and using just the same flat definer brush, I'm going in with Blackout right here. I'm just gonna put that not all the way, but just halfway. And just really pack that on. It just really defines the look and makes your eyes pop. Now it looks more complete with the lower lash line done. And I'll go back in with the color Flash and that crease brush and just blend it all together. This crease brush is like an essential for me. If I don't have it, I freak out because I use it for so many different things. For a second there, I thought it stopped filming. I was like, are you kidding me? Again. And if this looks a little too harsh for you, you can just take this crease brush and just kind of go over it. And it just helps to soften it out a little bit. I like it harsh. You can, you know, blend it out as much as you want. And that's really all we're doing for our eyeshadow. But I'm going to go back in, not back in, I'm going to go and run just a black eyeliner pencil. You can use whatever you have. This one's from the Body Shop. I just grabbed what I had. And just, I'm going to line my top, my tight line, my top lash line. And what tight lining really is, it's really hard for me to line my eyes and talk at the same time. You're just getting it right. You're not going on the lash line, but right under it. And then I'm going to line the inner corner, not the inner corner. I seriously can't speak. You know what this is, the waterline. I'm going to line my waterline. I don't really like this one. It doesn't show up as much. But that's what I have at the moment. And you don't have to line your waterline at all. I just think lining it with this black really, it makes your eyes appear smaller, but I mean, I don't know. It looks good to me, and I have kind of big eyes, so if you have smaller eyes, you can line it with a nude eye pencil or a white, and that'll widen it, or just don't line it at all. It really, just do whatever you want to do. I'm just going back over it because this eyeliner pencil kind of sucks, if I'm being honest. And then I'm going to do my lashes. We're not gonna, you can do eyeliner if you want. Oh my gosh, okay, died again. Hopefully I can get this done before it tries to die another time. So, where were we? Mascara, that's what we were talking about. So I'm going in with this Revlon 3D volume mascara. I think I got to the part about how it helps hold up my droopy eyelashes. And if I get really close to the camera, it's because me doing eyelashes, like, I have to get really close to the mirror. Like, I just can't. I can't not. And if you're anything like me, like, if you get a little mascara on your lid, it's, like, you don't even worry about it. One, you can't really see it with this smoky eye. And two, it just comes right off with a Q-tip. Do wait for it to dry though, because messing with wet mascara on your lid is just it's a nightmare. That's what it is. Also, Baby Snack came in to say hi. Say hi, Baby Snack. She's just sitting here, being so nice and patient with sister. She's my mom's dog. That's why I said, you know, I'm her sister, not her mom. So I'm just really loading on the mascara. I like having on a lot of mascara. I know, I mean, not like where it's clumpy and gross, like, no thank you. But I know some people don't, like my sister, she just does, well, her lashes just really don't even like hold mascara. She puts on like 5 layers and they just look natural no matter what. And I'm like, okay. I don't know if I'm the only one where like one eyelash is one eye, like your eyelashes on one eye are a lot better than the other. This one's like, oh, so nice, and this one's like, no. That was a great face, wasn't it? I know. I think I'm gonna go out and get a different camera today because this is just ridiculous. And my sniffing is ridiculous too. I'm sure you love hearing me sniff. I'm not as bad as I used to be. Used to, that'd have to be like, I would get tweezers and like separate them individually because I was just like, no, I'm not having it. Just add a little bit more. And top lashes are done. Now for the bottom. So now just going in with the bottom lashes, or when it gets a little crazy. Look, mascara on my cheek. Well, it kind of looks like a freckle for y'all, but it's mascara. And just getting a Q-tip, I'm just gonna brush off that little bit of mascara that I got on my lash. Eyes are done. So next, it's really optional. I like bronzing my face. I'm using just the NYX Sun and Bronze in Fire Island Tan. And it has these different shades, and I just get my buffing brush from Real Techniques. Swirl it in there and just hit wherever the sun would naturally hit. So I'm just going over the hairline and hitting the temples and my chin, jawline. And I take it down my neck too, again, for blending purposes. And then I'm going to contour. And I'm using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer contour too. So I'm just going to make an awesome face and suck in my cheeks so I can find my cheekbones. I don't really have cheekbones. I do, but you just can't see them as well as some other people's, but that's fine. That's why we fake it. And I'm just going in with this E.L.F. small tapered brush. You can get a more precise brush. Sometimes I will go in with the E.L.F. angled contour brush, which is just this little guy. But, I mean, I kind of like to use this for contouring. It's just not as, it's precise enough. It's just not as you have like a really harsh contour. And then I like to contour my nose, like, no matter what. I really don't need it. I don't have a crooked nose or a, you know, a giant nose, but I just like to. Using the E.L.F contour brush. It's a different one though. It's this little tiny guy. I'm going to take that matte bronzer and just go down the sides of my nose and run it over the tip and connect it. It just kind of gives you that button nose look when you connect it. And let's see, now moving on to blush. I love Milani blushes. To me, they're just really pigmented and pretty. They're baked blushes especially. So this one, I use it all the time, like the name's even gone. But it's the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. And this looks great on every skin tone. It's just this beautiful shimmer, and it's a nice peachy pink. And to me, like, I really like wearing it when I have a tan. It looks... So it died again, so I'm really gonna have to try to hurry. And then I just go back in with the buffing brush and just kind of run it over all of my face to blend it all together. And then for highlight, I like to double up on highlight in the summer, so I'm just using the E.L.F Shimmering Face Whip. Take a little bit of that on my finger, kind of dab it together, and then just hit the tops of my cheekbones. This will really help just bring the look together and also help you look like you have cheekbones when you're like me and you really don't. I like to hit my Cupid's bow. And then I go in with the Physicians Formula Translucent Pearl Highlighter. And you can use your finger for this, but I also like to use the Bobbi Brown blush brush. I don't use it for blush though, I use it for my highlight. And just swirl it in there. Highlight over that E.L.F highlighter. Hit the bridge of my nose, my Cupid's bow. And voila! We're not totally done yet. Oh, I found it! So I'm using the NYX matte setting spray and just spraying that on my face. And this just locks it all in, and then I go over it with my beauty blender. And I really find that like spraying the setting spray and then dabbing your beauty blender over it just helps the look really come together and blend it all. Oh, can you see my highlight? Oh, so beautiful. And take down my hair. And for lips, I'm going to be lining them with this Sonia Kashuk lip pencil in Pink Whisper. This is one of my favorite lip liners. It really just looks like the color of my lips, just a little pinker. And then I'm going over it with Gerard Cosmetics Kimchi Doll, which is this really nude peachy color, and I really like it. I really like to do nude lips when I do a smoky eye, because I want the focus to be really on the eyes. And that lipstick does dry matte on me, so I like to go over it with the NYX Butter Gloss, and this one is in Vanilla Cream Pie. It just makes it a little pinker. And that is this makeup look. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Thank you.